The title is Creative Power and Aging. What is this? This is the average age when people make great inventions. This is reported by Professor Yamamoto at Chiba Institute of Technology. This means that invention, discovery, and creative works that make people are relatively young. So, can't we achieve creative works when we get old? If so, is the number of great inventions decreasing in Japan where people are aging? To answer these questions, I would like to think about the relationship between creative power and age. What do we need for creation? Let's consider 4 factors which sound necessary for creation. First, we may need knowledge. For example, we need knowledge of problems of old rockets to invent new ones. Another example is that we need to know how to compose songs to create new ones. However, knowledge is not enough. We might also need enthusiasm. A great inventor, Thomas Edison, says, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." I believe we need enthusiasm to cause such perspiration. Some people might say a good environment where we are raised is also an important factor. That sounds true. The head teacher of Koyo Gakuen, Mr. Imanishi, said, "School days at Koyo Gakuen affected my future greatly." And we know Koyo Gakuen has many creative students, right? However, a Japanese inventor, Yoshihiro Nakamatsu, also invited Shoyu Churchu to help his mother when he was growing up in a poor family. That is, both good and bad environment can make creative power in the future. But from these examples, at least, we can see that some specific environment counts for creativity. Of course, we need money to create. Japanese rocket H2 costs 140 billion yen for its launching. Project Apollo in the USA was stopped by lack of money. So now we consider knowledge, enthusiasm, the environment where we are raised, and money for creativity. And it seems all of these factors are necessary. But do we lose this when we get old? Let's think about the relationship between these and age. First, think about money. Usually, we have more money when we are older. Second, think about the environment where we are raised. We have memories of younger days for a long time. We never forget them. So, it can be motivation for create something great, either when we are young or old. How about knowledge? Well, logically, we lose some knowledge if we don't use it. When I was 5 years old, I was living in the Netherlands. According to my parents, I was speaking Dutch fluently. But now, put more hands is the only word I remember. Finally, think about enthusiasm. We often lose enthusiasm when we get old. Many athletes eventually quit playing because of lack of enthusiasm. In my case, I was into collecting Pokemon trading cards when I was 6 years old. But now I don't care. That is, we may lose knowledge and enthusiasm when we get old at some point. Yes, it sounds right. However, we know many old people who made great inventions. And I think all of these people have special power in common. That is imagination. The power of imagination is the ability to imagine what the results will be in the future, a power of prediction. The power of imagination is the ability to imagine what we can still do more, a power of self-confidence. A power of imagination is the ability to imagine what other people do. This makes us to respect and compete with others. This imagination power gives us enthusiasm to create and achieve new things. Look at this. Mr. Hideyoshi Miyazaki, 105 years old this year, achieved a new world record for 100 meters. In the interview on the new world record, he said that he disappointed by his time. He imagined that he could learn in better time. Having clear prediction in the future must motivate him to break a world record in 105 years old. This may be the same in an academic world. Mr. Koichi Nishiyama, 77 years old, Mr. Fujio Kawashima, 75 years old, are amateur astronomers and have found more than 100 heavenly bodies only for the last 8 years. Surprisingly, they start serious studies after their retirement, and they create their own telescope. They say, I feel excited when I had a difficult situation that I never expected. We can break a world record of finding new heavenly bodies. It can be done by our corporation. Their works show that they have great abilities that imagine their future, their own abilities, and others' abilities. This made them to start studies, create tools, and achieve great findings after 70 years old. These examples prove that we can get back or even get more knowledge and enthusiasm with the power of imagination. Do you remember what 37.6 means? Yes, creative power may be made by young people. Yes, creative power may be decreasing in Japan where people are aging. However, remember what I told you today. The important point is to have imagination. If more and more old people have imagination, they can make more creative works. And the average age will be over 40, 50, 60, and it can be beyond. I'd like to live in such a country. Thank you.